Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dan again from CryptoCamacho.com, where each day I teach you how to make more money with cryptocurrency. A lot has happened, guys, in the last 24 hours around Bitcoin Cash, around Bitcoin. The battle continues, and it will only heat up. I'm expecting the price of Bitcoin Cash to keep going up for at least the next week or so, probably a lot longer than that, but definitely expect that in the next couple weeks. The price of Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin Core, I continue to see that going down for the next couple of weeks. I don't know what's going to happen in the long run, but wanted to just give you a quick update on that. The markets are going crazy. I'm hoping you had a chance to get into the markets and make some money from the turns. I mean, even if you literally are playing the bounces, we're seeing like 10% up and down all day long. Like almost every 1 to 3 hours, we're seeing like a 10% bump on either side of the aisle, right? On the Bitcoin aisle and on the Bitcoin Cash side of the aisle. So no matter what you believe in, no matter what side you're on, you can still make money with Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin today. You just need to know how to trade it. And to do that, you should use Coinigy or use GDAX or something similar so that you can day trade on these swings that are happening. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to day trade because there's just so much opportunity in what's actually happening. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but just wanted to give you a quick update on that. So really what I wanted to get in, the heart of this episode, is really about a completely different topic, completely unrelated to Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin itself. It's regarding an altcoin. Recently, they had an ICO. The ICO, I believe, is finished. But the altcoin exists, and what this company is doing, I actually really, really believe in and think that they are going to be very successful in the long run. If not this company, then a different company will come up and take their place. What am I talking about, guys? I am talking about Substratum, okay? Substratum. What is Substratum? Here's the Substratum website. We are the foundation of the decentralized web. So Substratum is an open source network that allows anyone to allocate spare computing resources to make the internet a free and fair place for the entire world. So this, guys, is a very big deal. If you live in the United States, and even if you don't, you've probably heard some of the recent news around the FCC voting to repeal the net neutrality laws that were put in place a couple of years back. And what does that mean, guys? It's a big deal for us in the US. It should be a big deal worldwide because it's going to have pretty big implications for anybody who's trying to start a business, for anybody who runs an online website or internet business, and far beyond that, right? What does it actually mean? So let's go quickly, before we get into the details of Substratum, because I really believe in this. I've dropped some money into it recently. I think it's going to take a little while to develop this technology, but definitely as the years go by, somebody will pull this off, and I think Substratum is in a very good place to do that. But first, let's go back to net neutrality. So what is net neutrality, right? And why is this even a topic? Why is this even important? So Wikipedia defines this as net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers must treat all data on the internet the same and not discriminate or charge differently by user, content, website, platform, application, type of attached equipment, or method of communication. For instance, under these principles, internet service providers are unable to intentionally block, slow down, or charge money for specific websites and online content. So this is very, very, very big deal, guys. If you are familiar with what happens in China, with what happens in Russia, with what happens in many other countries, right, that are more under the control of the government consistently shuts down websites it doesn't like. It consistently shuts down content, consistently prevents people that live in those, those nations, those countries, continuously prevents them from accessing certain types of information over the internet. Because they have no net neutrality, right? They have these very harsh laws and rules that they impose on internet service providers, or the internet service providers themselves are just part of the government cartels in general. And so they essentially dictate what the public, what the users, what you guys can actually see, while using your internet, right? So the U.S. until literally just a few days ago was neutral on this, right? In the sense that they made it illegal for internet service providers to block and prevent this type of content or this type of thing from happening, right? So a Comcast or an AT&T or another service provider would be unable to block content, charge content. I mean, just like Wikipedia says here, they've been prevented from doing that because there's been this law in place. So now let's fast forward till today. A few days ago, the FCC actually overturned the net neutrality rules, and it's caused a big uproar, right? The supporters of net neutrality are going to continue to fight. I'm definitely a supporter of net neutrality. I don't think the FCC should be controlling what the service providers can and can't do in terms of blocking or unblocking the internet to the public. I don't think that should be put in place, and so I'm definitely passionate about this. But yeah, just a few days ago, a guy named, Ajit Pai, he basically implemented a vote to overturn these net neutrality rules, and the Senate voted for it. So meaning that now they've overturned net neutrality, which will allow the internet service providers like Comcast and AT&T to censor content, to block content, to stop or charge a certain amount of money for premium content. This is going to have a whole host of implications, guys, a huge range of implications. It's not going to all start overnight, but it is going to affect the internet and definitely impact the way that you use the internet if you are a United States citizen, okay? So let's really quickly just jump down here. Actually, we don't need to read this guy's statement, but I just wanted to make you familiar with who he is. So a lot of people are fighting against this, guys, but I think the government has won round one of this battle. They're going to be able to do what they want to do. Comcast, AT&T, other service providers are going to do what they want to do. But that's why we have Substratum. So in a few years' time, you know, it could take a little while, but in a few years' time, the internet is going to be completely decentralized, meaning we will not need to rely on service providers like AT&T and Comcast to actually give us the internet, right? To access the internet. What Substratum is doing is they're building a decentralized internet which uses the resources on any individual machine within a community to actually access the internet, right? And this kind of works similar to a blockchain, I guess, you know, where community to community to community to community will be kind of linked to this chain of internet providers, right? So one person will have the internet access. They'll link to another person that has the internet access. They'll link to another person, another person, another person, another person, and it will spread, right? Throughout the country, throughout communities, and it'll go from one city to the next. And eventually, everybody will have the internet being provided by a decentralized service and not a conglomerate or centralized service like an AT&T or a Comcast. So let's dig in and let's see how this works. I'm bringing this up to you guys because the price is still relatively low. Let's go check out Substratum price. It's relatively low right now, and I definitely think there's a huge amount of potential for this one to go up. It may take a little bit more time for this to actually happen, but it will happen. Right now, guys, it's 51 cents. It's dropped about 8%, so not a bad time to get in while everything is going down. But over the long term, let's just look at the year to date. Over the long term, I think this one has a huge amount of potential, guys. So it has kind of gone up and down. But just wanted to show you the price is 51 cents today. So let's go back over. So how does Substratum work, and what is it, right? Okay. So everyone who runs a Substratum node gets paid via cryptocurrency each time they serve content. It's easy to participate, and it helps build a better, more open internet. So if you provide your internet or your content to users around you, you will get paid in a Substratum type of cryptocurrency, right? So let's check this out. How does it actually work? Let's go down. Substratum builds the decentralized web by leveraging the power of the individual. Anyone can publish, anyone can participate, and everyone is welcome to browse. So here's how it works, guys. The network at a glance. The host serves the content, right? So a website, an application, whatever is added to this decentralized web that Substratum is setting up. Then the nodes or the computers will run the nodes and request that information from that website. The visitor will see the content just like normal, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going, keep going, keep going. And this just gets into a little bit more detail about how the actual process works. And then lastly, anyone hosting a Substratum node gets paid each time they deliver content. It's incredibly simple. You don't even need technical knowledge to participate. You just run your node in the background and you make money. I haven't actually tried this out. I'm thinking about trying it out, setting up a node and actually going and trying the service. I haven't actually done that yet. I probably should do that, especially if I'm investing. So definitely recommend you guys do that. But yeah, I mean, essentially, let's look at the news really quickly here because I want to show you what's actually going on in the news. Oh, let me get here real quick. So they are doing a private test in December, and there's other news here. They've been testing this in Europe and in the US. Now they're doing it in Asia as well. It's a fairly new company. It hasn't been around for too long. But definitely think there is a huge amount of potential here. The last thing is I want to just show you the white paper. And you guys can definitely read this in your own time. But let's just take a quick look at this. All right. So again, pretty well thought out white paper. It's 23 pages long. And it's really getting in. Okay, so let's just go and check out the introduction. That's what I really want to focus on here. Substratum is creating an open source foundation for a decentralized web, which will provide unrestricted access to content and sharing of information for users across the globe. Our mission is to bring forth the free and fair internet of the future by combining proven technological building blocks with emergent technologies in an innovative and holistic way to help solve many of the problems that plague the modern internet. Substratum will gain mass adoption by revolutionizing the hosting industry with peer request billing via microtransactions and incentivizing users to run nodes to create the network by paying node hosts in Substratum. This is all being managed by blockchain technology and machine learning. So this paragraph right here, guys, is key. Substratum will gain mass adoption by revolutionizing the hosting industry with peer request billing via microtransactions and incentivizing users to run nodes to create a network. So essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to get more and more people to sign up for this type of service to actually make money. The more users they have, the stronger the network is, the larger the decentralized web will become, right? So the more users that actually adopt this technology, the more internet there will be, the more the price of Substratum will go up, and the more access points there will be across this decentralized internet. Pretty cool business model, right, guys? Now, the only problem I see with this business model is the mass adoption piece. I think they're going to really need to incentivize users and folks to actually participate in this. So they're going to have, I think, some pretty high payouts initially just to get a bulk of the users on board with this. Otherwise, there will be no mass adoption, right? But as mass adoption happens and as people start to see the benefits of this decentralized web, especially now talking about net neutrality and then the FCC in the US overturning net neutrality, this is definitely becoming more and more important than ever. I think the time is very right to invest in a technology like this, especially when the FCC just came out overturning the net neutrality rules. I think the supporters of net neutrality are going to take notice on things like this. There are other companies, like I said, doing this. The Decentralized Internet, Substratum has a unique twist on it that they're using cryptocurrency and incentivizing users to sign up through cryptocurrency incentives. Or payouts, if you will. So I think that's a very unique take on this, but mark my words, within the next 5 years, we will have a decentralized web solution. It may be Substratum, it may be something else, but I want you guys to know before you go out and complain about FCC, net neutrality, blah, 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 know that people are working on solutions for this right now. And if you are an investor, you want to be an early adopter, you're okay with taking a little bit of risk, highly recommend Substratum. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to know your thoughts on net neutrality. I'm curious to know your thoughts on Substratum, on this particular company, on decentralized web technologies. And we'll go from there. One thing that we really need is a decentralized exchange. And I know that's being worked on as well. And there are folks that are getting pretty close to solving that as well. But that's for a different video. I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. You can click on the little red button. Actually, it's blue right now because I'm logged in. But you can click on the little red button on my channel and subscribe. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you think. See ya.